Take a look at the physical cash in your wallet. If you pull out a standard Hamilton $10 bill, exactly how much economic power are you really holding in your hand? Let's say you take that $10 and use it to buy a morning coffee. A few minutes later, the barista takes a break, steps outside, and drops that exact same piece of paper into a street musician's guitar case. By noon, the musician takes the bill over to the corner deli and trades it for a turkey sandwich. And at closing time, the deli owner hands that very same $10 to a teenager who sweeps the shop floors. Let's pause right there. If you look at this chart tracking our town's economic activity, you'll see a running total that climbs all the way up to $40 in total sales. That single piece of paper did the exact same work as 4 separate $10 bills, simply because it moved from person to person quickly. Economists use a specific term for the chain reaction we just watched, the velocity of money. You can think of velocity like a financial speedometer. It measures exactly how many times an average dollar changes hands over the course of a single year. When people feel safe and secure about their jobs, they tend to spend freely. The money moves fast, and that speedometer stays high. So if you want to know how healthy an economy actually is, counting the cash sitting in bank vaults won't give you the answer. You have to check the speedometer to see if that money is actually moving. Let's rewind our clock and imagine an alternate reality for our $10 bill. What if, instead of buying coffee, you feel worried about a looming recession and decide to lock that money in a glass jar? The chain breaks instantly. The barista doesn't make a sale, the street musician gets nothing in his tip jar, and the deli owner loses out on a lunch order. Now imagine this happening on a national scale. During the 2020 pandemic lockdowns, commerce completely stopped. When a terrifying crisis hits, human psychology naturally takes over. Millions of people get scared at the exact same time and start hoarding their cash. The country has the exact same amount of physical currency floating around, but because the spending speed drops to zero, economic growth flatlines. To jumpstart a dying economy, the government typically steps in. They print massive amounts of new money and distribute it directly to citizens as emergency relief. Logically, you might assume that injecting trillions of new dollars into the system would immediately force everyday prices to shoot up. But take a look at this chart. The blue line shows the total money supply in the United States, forming a steep vertical spike during 2020, yet initial consumer prices barely budged. If we overlay a second line showing velocity, you can see why. The spending speed crashes downward at the exact same time. All those new $10 bills went straight into savings accounts, meaning they weren't chasing any goods to push prices up. This is the major headache for central bankers. They can easily control the printing press, but they have absolutely no way to control human fear. Pumping new money into a panicked economy is like pouring premium gas into a car with a missing engine. The fuel is there, but without the mechanics of velocity, it can't drive inflation anywhere. Fast forward a couple of years to 2021 and 2022. The crisis begins to fade, public fear subsides, and confidence slowly returns. People finally start leaving their homes, eager to travel, eat at restaurants, and shop. Millions of families break open those accumulated savings. Now the math equation flips. That massive pile of newly printed stimulus money is still in the system, but suddenly the spending speedometer spikes back up to full speed. When you have too much money moving incredibly quickly, and all of it is chasing the same limited supply of goods and services, prices rise. It's a simple, unavoidable reaction. The result hits right at home. The everyday cost of living surges upwards, forcing consumers to pay significantly more for basic necessities. The economy is never a perfect machine run by a central bank. It's a living, breathing network, driven entirely by our collective psychology. And as it turns out, our simple willingness to spend a $10 bill is just